What's up, everyone? Benny here, and welcome to a Beast City Halloween review. Ooh! Halloween is my favorite time of the year.
So is mine, tied with Christmas.
Ladies and gentlemen, my best friend, Hubert Hyena!
Thank you. If you're wondering, I invited myself here to co-host your review.
How can I say no to that? With holidays comes many viewing traditions. Everyone's got their favorites, from Charlie Brown and The Simpsons to Hocus Pocus and the Addams Family.
For us, it's the Scary Godmother duology.
Beginning in 1997, Scary Godmother was a series of comic books created, written, and illustrated by Jill Thompson, and published by Sirius Entertainment.
So is that Sirius like the star, or Sirius like important? Like the star!
Jill Thompson later collaborated with Run Amok Productions to adapt the first story of her series into a stage production called Scary Godmother Halloween Spooktacular, which debuted at the Chicago Community Theater in 2001.
Afterwards, she would work with Cartoon Network and Mainframe Entertainment for adapting her series into animation.
Now, for those of you who don't know, Mainframe Entertainment is a Canadian animation studio that served as one of the pioneers for CG animation. Prior to the studio's founding, animators Ian Pearson and Gavin Blair provided some of the first computer animation for commercials and industrial films, though perhaps their most notable work would be the music video for Dire Straits' Money for Nothing, giving the world its first glance at computer-generated characters. Eventually, they, along with other like-minded creatives, would go on to form Mainframe Entertainment, providing the very first CG animated TV series, and a year before the release of Toy Story no less. Reboot. Very funny. There we go. They would make other shows after, but their most notable one would of course be Beast Wars Transformers. It's a real shame they don't get as much credit as they deserve, because they really have made great achievements for the industry.
Originally, Mainframe wanted to do a 26-episode Scary Godmother series aimed at young girls ages 8 to 11. This was eventually cut down to 13 episodes and then evidently 2 TV specials, Halloween Spooktacular and The Revenge of Jimmy.
The first of these specials was released at San Diego Comic-Con on July 18, 2003, and then on Region 1 DVD on September 3rd that same year before making its television broadcast on the Canadian channel YTV on October 26, as well as Disney International networks in Asia, Europe, and Latin America. Eventually, it came to the United States in September 2004 on DVD before airing on Cartoon Network on October 1st that same year. The only question now is, how is the special itself? Let's find out.
Halloween Spooktacular opens on Halloween night. The camera pans through a neighborhood of trick-or-treaters and follows a boy dressed as a piece of candy to a girl dressed as a black cat.
Happy Halloween, Katie. You got a nice costume.
You're late. I'm sitting alone in a cemetery and you... Daryl, are you a piece of candy?
Yeah, cool, huh? I figure when people see me, I'll make the candy they give out look small. So they'll overcompensate by giving us more. Smart, huh?
What did your parents do to you?
Daryl is voiced by Noel Callahan. His resume isn't quite big, but some of the roles of his include Louis from Nickelodeon's Romeo, which I never actually watched, and Sage in Mainframe's direct-to-DVD film, Tony Hawk and Boom Boom Sabotage. Yes, that was a thing.
Katie is voiced by Britt Irvin, aka Sunny Flair, from My Little Pony Equestria Girls.
Pulling up in his cardboard SUV is Bert, voiced by Danny McKinnon.
Let me roll down the window. Ah, that's better. Now I can hear you.
Among his voice roles, his most notable ones are being the second voice of Kohaku from Inuyasha, and Dragon Tales fans might know him as the voice of Max.
Bert and Daryl compliment each other's costumes, while Katie questions where their other friend Jimmy is.
Speak of the devil, and the devil shall appear.
Oh, there he is.
Jimmy is the self-appointed leader of the group and is voiced by Alex Dodok, ironically the initial voice for Kohaku, and is also known as Lane Hikari from Mega Man Anti-Warrior. Or at least a part of it. He also voiced Jake Spakenheimer from another holiday special Cartoon Network used to air annually. Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
Here's the reason for being late.
I had to get the baby. Come on, Hannah.
I'm coming, Jimmy. I'm coming.
This is our young protagonist, Hannah Marie, voiced by Britt McKillop. Bronies and Pegasisters know her as Princess Cadence from My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. Also, I like that Hannah is given her own musical score theme to imply that she's the main protagonist. The score conveys both youth and innocence, as well as personal growth and courage. And note that she's the only one in the group with colored eyes, perhaps symbolic of how she can see things differently from the other kids.
Daryl, there is nothing scary about a piece of candy.
Hey! You could be a mean piece of candy, like when you eat too much of it, and it finally gets you sick.
That's good. I'm that last piece of candy that makes you sick.
Annoyed with Hannah, the older kids decide to ditch her by tricking her into going into an old mansion that they call the Spook House, and locking her inside.
As sweet little Hannah breaks down into tears, a friendly red-headed witch magically appears.
Hannah Marie! Say hello to your scary godmother!
Voiced by Rarity herself, Tabitha St. Germain.
After making introductions, Scary Godmother takes Hannah on a broomstick ride to her home in a parallel world called the Fright Side. It's here that we see Scary setting up a Halloween party, and Hannah is introduced to Scary Godmother's other friends, such as her, skeleton in the closet.
Oh my, Scary Godmother! Sorry to be so late, but I just had to get these old bones bleached for the party.
This is Mr. Scully Pettibone, voiced by Scott McNeil, whose name speaks for itself in the voice acting industry.
Though for anyone not as familiar, his credits include Hack from Reboot, Piccolo in the Ocean dub of Dragon Ball Z, multiple roles in Beast Wars, Duo Maxwell from Gundam Wing, Wolverine in X-Men Evolution, Koga from Inuyasha,
and my personal favorite, T-Bone from Extreme Dinosaurs.
After that, the guests begin to arrive, with the first being what's probably everyone's favorite big ham in these specials.
Where are those wonderful smells emanating from? The goodie plate, I believe. You won't mind if I just sample the delicacies, do you? Ow! No! Down, boy!
Harry the Werewolf, voiced by Optimus Primal himself, Gary Chalk. Other credits of his include characters from Reboot like Turbo and Slash, Grounder from Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, and Bad Rat from Extreme Dinosaurs. He's a massive geek and the mooch of the group, but Jill is able to find that line that makes the character a hoot to watch, such as how he tries to act more sophisticated than he really is, and typically gets what's coming to him when he really becomes a nuisance. And Gary is clearly having a blast with the role.
Fun fact, Harry wasn't introduced in the first Scary Godmother book, so this adaptation includes elements of Wild About Harry, particularly when he orders 12 pizzas and has Scary Godmother pay for them. Back to the monsters' introductions.
The pleasure is ours.
The place looks great! Hi!
Hi. Are you a real vampire?
Of course I'm a real vampire. Are you a real human?
Count Max, also voiced by Scott McNeil, his wife Countess Ruby, also voiced by Tabitha St. Germain, and their son Orson, voiced by Adam Pospisil, who hasn't done any other voice acting and has appeared in a short list of films like Snow Falling on the Setters and Storyteller.
The last one to enter the party, but definitely not least by any means.
If I start scaring kids after hours, I'm going to put in for overtime.
Bugaboo, the owner of the house, along with Scary Godmother and Scully, is also voiced by Gary Chalk. Bugaboo's literal job is to scare kids by hiding under their beds. How, you might ask? Cartoon logic defies real-world logic.
At first, Hannah is frightened of the monsters, but as she gets to know them, she begins to have fun with them at their party.
Back outside the spook house, Jimmy, Bert, Daryl, and Katie completely miss out on trick-or-treating while waiting for Hannah. Their patience finally runs out, and they decide to enter the mansion to look for her. Scary Godmother and her friends decide to play a prank on the kids by giving them a taste of their own medicine. It all comes to a head when Hannah pretends to scare away the monsters using her flashlight.
Before leaving with her cousin and his friends, Hannah is given a magic skeleton key that will allow her to visit the Fright Side anytime she wants, and thus opening the door for more adventures with these characters.
And that was Scary Godmother Halloween Spooktacular. Following its television premiere in the US, it became the most viewed cable program for young kids as well as the highest rated Cartoon Network special of 2004. Critics were generally positive about the special, calling it a little dark, a little scary and fun, and an instant classic.
To me, Scary Godmother is a special that I believe can be enjoyed by anyone young or old. The animation may be dated, but it has a unique style resembling a pop-up book come to life that I believe gives it appeal and helps it stand out even after 20 years. The humor also has something for kids and adults, whether it's the characters' personalities and how they play off each other, some Halloween-themed puns, and the occasional joke that'll go over the younger viewers' heads.
So other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how did you enjoy the show?
The characters also have their own appeal in one way or another, though my only disappointment being Scary Godmother herself. While there is charm, she doesn't quite stand out as much as the rest of the cast, though Tabitha St. Germain's performance does still help make the character memorable. Even reminds me of Miss Frizzle at times. The plot is simple, but for an adaptation of a picture book, and one that's essentially trying to be a picture book brought to life, it accomplishes all it needs to, and thus has become a Halloween tradition for me.
For me, Halloween Spooktacular seems to get better with age, especially with the animation. Even if it's not on the level of Pixar or DreamWorks, it still has that late 90s, early 2000s look that gives it a certain charm. While there's not much going on plot-wise, I'm not at all bored with the characters' interactions. If anything, I find it funny when Jimmy gets annoyed by his friends, and the inverse of the monsters where it's only Harry who is annoying the rest of the group. Also, I like the chemistry between Daryl and Katie. What moments are shown with them are short, but rather sweet. I also appreciate the specials showing the wicked receiving their comeuppance while good people are rewarded.
Now let's proceed with the sequel that was released about a year or two later.
Narrated by Harry the Werewolf, The Revenge of Jimmy begins 1 year later with a now paranoid Jimmy having monster-proofed his bedroom when Bert, Daryl, and Katie arrive to discuss their Halloween plans, only to get caught up in his tricks and traps.
Hey guys, thanks. Thanks for what? For field testing my monster trap? I figure monsters are dumber than you, and since you fell for it.
Is that a compliment or an insult?
I don't know and I don't care.
While many of the voice actors did return to reprise their roles, the rest were recast for reasons we'll probably never know. The most obvious is Jimmy, who is voiced here by Alexander Ludwig, known for playing Kato in the Hunger Games. Ludwig does sound younger than Dodok, and it probably will take some getting used to, but he's still able to get the part of Jimmy down well.
I'm Jimmy. I'm the devil. Happy Halloween.
Speak up! Is this long distance? You sound like you're calling from Norway.
Britt Irvin is back as Katie, while Dexter Bell takes over as Bert, and Nathan Tipple as Daryl. Dexter practically sells an older, more mature version of Danny McKinnon's performance, and Nathan does a pretty good job sounding close to Noel Callahan.
I'm a baseball player in his SUV. It's loaded with all the options, including anti-lock brakes and an atomic-powered laser cannon. Right on! I'm a piece of candy.
Well, we can still do the tricks. It'll be trick or trick. I guess I'm egging your house this year, Daryl.
Yeah, right.
Dexter Bell is best known for voicing Stan from the cult favorite Oban Racers, while Nathan Tipple did voice Chisao in Mega Man NT Warrior. Interestingly enough, he also played Shotaro Kanata from the live-action Tetsujin 28 movie, aka Gigantor.
Jimmy's plan is to defeat the monsters, and his second step is to boycott Halloween, much to the discrepancy of his friends. They choose to hang out with Jimmy's cousin Hannah Marie instead.
Meanwhile, over on the Fright Side, Scary Godmother, Mr. Pettibone, and Harry are preparing for another Halloween party, when Hannah comes over asking for cobwebs so she can finish decorating her room. Meanwhile, they're visited by Count Max, Ruby, and Orson, who offer to help by picking up supplies from the grocery store.
Well, if you could pick up a big jar of shrieks and a 6-pack of frights, that'd be great.
Done in the done.
Ruby also shows Hannah her sketches for Orson's costume, which makes him feel embarrassed.
Do I have to wear that? I look like a dork in a crown.
Ah, right. Adam Pospisil didn't return, so Orson is voiced by now billionaire businessman and chairman of Augusta Group of Companies, Richard Wark.
Sure, I've slept in my own coffin since I was 3. You mean you still share a coffin with your parents? Oh, nothing can really hurt me. Except a steak, or daylight, or holy water, or garlic, or... Hey, whoa, there are a lot of things that can hurt me.
Back in the mortal world, Jimmy gets inspired to ruin Halloween completely, and so he puts a new series of plans into action. First, he sneaks into the pumpkin patch that night and smashes all the pumpkins. The following night, he goes into the stores with a red marker and vandalizes all of the costumes by marking them with fire hazard logos and all of the candy with poison logos, making them unsellable. Lastly, he goes over to the abandoned spook house and throws toilet paper all over the place.
As all this happens, Jimmy slowly transforms into an actual demon, beginning with his face freezing in a demonic grin, following with his posture being hunched over, and culminating in a scrunched up nose and sharp teeth.
Jimmy's actions also negatively affect the emotions of Bert, Daryl, and Katie, which in turn affects the fright side.
But without jack-o'-lanterns, we can't have Halloween!
At first, it starts with the land coming undone and Scary Godmother's pumpkin patch vanishing.
All the candy is gone! It's game over, man! Game over!
Halloween is ruined!
Then the house collapses and the entire realm vanishes.
My home! My comic books!
My eyesight! Thank goodness I have no eyeballs. Nice scar joke, yo.
Oh, no! Look at this mess!
The party's in a few minutes. We'll never get it cleaned up in time. Halloween is ruined! Cancel over! Ruined! Cancel over!
Finally, the characters come apart at the seams, both figuratively and literally, and Scary Godmother loses her magic.
Thankfully, Hannah's unshakable optimism and strong imagination are enough to restore everyone's Halloween spirit, along with the fright side.
Hey guys, look! It's not broken. Someone just made them out for us.
Cool! And it makes it easier to get the seeds out.
Yeah, these pumpkins are better than ever! I just had an idea. We don't have to buy treats. We can make our own. That'd work.
But what do we do for costumes?
We can make those too. I think it's perfect. It's supposed to be a spook house. Can't you see? The house and trees look like little ghosts. Zillions of little ghosts.
Hannah's right. Look at them all. Cool.
It's a real spook house now.
With everything back to the way it was, Hannah takes Katie, Bert, and Daryl into the house and introduces them to her monster friends, who happily invite them to join the party. Jimmy follows and makes one more attempt to spoil the holiday by stealing the prize for the best costume contest. He's caught by Harry, and the two break into a fight before Bugaboo shows up and accidentally scares Jimmy. Likewise, his demonic face scares Bugaboo, and the lovable monster congratulates Jimmy for it.
What happened then? In the fright side, they say that Jimmy's Halloween spirit grew 3 sizes that day.
With that, the special ends with the party continuing on and everyone living frightfully ever after.
Scary Godmother, The Revenge of Jimmy is a solid follow-up to Halloween Spooktacular. It maintains what made the first special fun, yet I feel it has more going on, especially as we get to the Fright Side cast much sooner. I also think the animation has some more detail this time around, from things like more sets, bigger effects, and even more fluid character animations. Seeing Hannah and the older kids having matured in the years since Halloween Spooktacular is also a nice touch, especially after watching other sequels or series where the characters never quite change over time. Let them grow, and you get new storytelling possibilities. It's also got nice messages for the kids watching without feeling like it's being hammered in or coming at the expense of the over-the-top Halloween-themed silliness. All in all, both specials have been annual viewings for me every Halloween season, and I'll continue to do so for more years to come.
Agreed. Revenge of Jimmy is an excellent follow-up. It neither improves upon nor takes away from the first special, but rather it adds to it with world building. I really appreciate being able to see more of Hannah's hometown, as well as her interactions with Jimmy, Bert, Daryl, and Katie. Speaking of whom, I also love that the kids have developed more from their experiences in Halloween Spooktacular. While they're still depicted as friends, Daryl, Katie, and Bert don't mindlessly follow Jimmy with his plans. Speaking of Jimmy, I like his solid character arc going from a regular kid to full-on antagonist and finally redeemed. While I understand the criticisms about the ongoing plot of Jimmy trying to ruin Halloween, I also keep in mind that Jimmy's actions affect the characters we've come to care about. Halloween means a lot to his friends, his cousin, and especially the friends on the Fright side. Younger me had a personal preference for Revenge of Jimmy over Halloween Spooktacular, but now I enjoy watching these specials back to back, or at least one special per day, at least once every October.
As mentioned earlier, both specials are available on DVD. They're also available to watch everywhere for free on YouTube and on the Canadian streaming service Crave.
On October 30th, 2020, Mainframe Studios uploaded a video of Jill Thompson and Zeke Norton, who revealed that a television series may still be in the works. What are your thoughts on the Scary Godmother TV specials? Feel free to comment below. Also, feel free to subscribe and give this video a like if you want to see more from Beast City Reviews. Till then, this is Benny.
And Hubert.
Saying Happy Halloween!
And now to Raid the Fridge.